And let me just say this, you cannot make a man choose you over his family. Like, a man, and that's anybody. Like, but see, a lot of women, because we cling so much to men, we willing to lose anybody, our friends. And that's what separates us from men. They're not losing who they started with for no woman. They're not prizing you that much where they're gonna lose their childhood friends or any of their friends, their family for you. Most of them are not doing that. But women, desperate women, are willing to choose these men over your friends. And this is what shows desperation when you do stuff like that. And that actually makes them lose respect for you. The things that women think is going to give you this honor from a man, this respect, this pick me stuff, the ones that think, the things you think will make him choose you are the things that actually makes him dislike you, and it makes him lose respect for you, because he like, ew, I would never do that. Like, so why is she doing it? And she's supposed to be a prize. Well, is she acting prize worthy and she does stuff like that? That's like, you don't, if a man ain't choosing you, you don't gotta go put on your best suits and best gears and pull out all your top tier tricks to try to prove to him. You don't have to try to prove yourself to this fool. The way you prove yourself is separating yourself, because a woman of quality, a woman that knows her worth, she ain't gotta go proving nothing. She already know what she come with. It's a knowing. It's a deep knowing. So she know, all right, who are you for me to prove anything to? You ain't even worth all that. Let me go ahead and separate myself. Let me go ahead and dismiss myself. Y'all can have all this y'all got here. I'm gonna step around. I'm gonna move around. That's how you have to. That's how you show them. You don't gotta go proving all of this and all of that. You prove by simply removing yourself. That is your greatest asset. That is your greatest asset. Simply removing your time, your energy and your time. That is everything, because that is the one thing you don't get back. Once you waste time, you cannot get it back. You cannot get it back. You cannot get it back. So don't waste your time places that don't even value you being there in the first place. Don't grace places and people with your presence when they don't even value your presence in the first place. Don't even give them the satisfaction. They don't get the luxury of being able to enjoy that beautiful presence of yours. You don't got to try to prove your worth to nobody. You don't got to prove to this man why he should choose you over his family. A quality man who's a God-fearing man already know what the Lord said. The Lord said your new family is the wife. That's who you're supposed to cleave to. You're supposed to leave your mother and your father and cleave to your wife. So if he's still struggling, it's a power struggle between who should I choose? Who should I choose? He's a little boy. Dismiss him in the first place. He's a little boy who cannot make decisions for himself. That's not even a man you want leading you anyway. That's not even a man you want leading your children anyway. What he gonna lead them to? He don't even know how to make decisions for himself. He gotta rely on mommy and daddy. He's a mama's boy. He's a little Jody. You don't even want that type of clown around you anyway. Let him go ahead and you make the decision for him, because he needs a mama who makes decisions for him. So you be his mama in that instance and say, okay, Bookie, but here little Jody. This is what you're gonna do. Go back on over there to where you came from. That's what you do. And you take yourself to where you want to go. You keep going further in your life, further the hell away from him. That's what you do. That's what you do. You don't even gotta give him all these ultimatums. No, you decide to remove it yourself. That's your best thing. Period. Urgently, like that siren saying, urgently remove yourself and stop thinking that you lost. See, I think a lot of times with women are afraid to remove themselves because they don't want to seem like they lost. They don't want to feel like they lost to his family. They don't want to feel like they lost to the other woman. Girl, you won. You put the trash out. That's where trash belongs. Trash belongs on the outside. Okay? You won. When you know that when you stop thinking about this stuff as I'm competing for the spot. No, you are the spot. So if he ain't with you, then he's a failure anyway. He lost anyway because he ain't with you. So he already losing, and that's where you really get the one up these men at. That's how you one up them. Leave. Stop being the one that's afraid to leave. No, leave them. Leave them. I don't care how many feelings you have. Blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Leave them still. You can cry after you leave them. You can go have all those feelings and all that after you leave them. Leave them first though. Leave them first. Leave them. Because you're going to have all these, you're going to have a bunch of emotions whether you stay, whether you go. It's better to have those emotions when you go and not let this man see you going out like a sucker. See, y'all got to stop letting these men see you go out like suckers. Cry to yourself. You know, don't let him see you cry. Never let a man see you sweat. Never let a man see you sweat. Never let none of these people, at this point, he your op. When a person starts to act like an op, okay, treat him like an op. Oh, you want to be an op, and you never let your op see you cry. Do you let your op see you in distress? No, you don't. So don't give him the satisfaction of doing the same. Like, treat him like that. You want to act like such, treat them how they act, because that's what they doing to you. That's what they doing to you. So you do the same thing. Treat them how they act. They be a good doggy, you give them a doggy treat. They be bad doggy, they be a bad doggy. Outside to the yard, on the leash. You can't even run free in the yard. Out there, like, and don't go back and get them. Leave them there to rot. Leave them there to rot. At least for a good while. You know, but for real, don't be trying to be chosen, especially when it comes to choosing, like a man with his mom. You're not going to win that battle. So you're better off removing yourself and letting him see what he lost out on, and then he's going to end up having that resentment to his mother on top of all the other resentment he has towards her. He's going to end up having that resentment towards her because, or for him, to himself. Let him sit in it. Y'all don't be letting these men sit in their messes that they make long enough. Let them sit in it. It don't matter. And yeah, you might feel away too. Nobody really wants to leave the person that they love, but you may have to for a while, and you have to be okay with it. When you do these type of things, you have to really be ready. You can't be ready to fold and all that stuff. You gotta know how to, because this is a true game. It's playing a game, and we really shouldn't be playing games, but unfortunately it is. And you got to be really okay with the decisions that you make. So be ready to never see this man again if you have to. Be ready for that, because once you leave, be ready for everything that comes with it. Be ready for it. You know, you got to be okay. You got to accept, and you're going to have moments too where you be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have left. Maybe I should. No, you got to remember why you left, and remember that this person is who they is, and that it's been a pattern. It's been a cycle for years. You keep going back to that pattern that you know. Though that there are good moments that you had, the overall pattern is that he always betray you. He always deceive you. He always lie. He always do this. He never wants to leave. Whatever that thing is, that's what you hold on to for the reason that this is why we're not together. This is why I cannot be with this person. This is why it has not worked out. This is why. If he got a meddling mama, this is why. It don't matter what the situation is, she always meddling. You got to remember that. And until a man grows up, these men got to grow up. They don't want to grow up, though. They want to be little Jodies. Mama, little Jodies. Oh, all I can think of is Baby Boy. Baby Boy disgusts me at this day and age. I probably will never watch that movie again because of how disgusting it is. And these are supposed to be the men that are leading the world, and they are the little Jodies. Mama, don't know how to make no decisions for myself because I'm such a freaking mama's boy. That's what make you a man. Your ability to solve problems, your ability to use the brain that the Lord God gave you, and stop acting like you have a brain the size of a mustard seed, and exercise your brain strength. Exercise it to come up with your own solutions. Stop running to mama, daddy, friends, everybody outside of you for things that you need to do with your life. These people who are not going to be fully affected by it. To some degree they may, but the main person that you need to be cared of, if you have children, that's who you should be worried about, who's going to be affected by it. If this is your wife, if this is someone you truly love, that's who you need to be worried about, who's going to be affected by your decisions. Your mama grown, and even to some degree, depending on what your decisions are, yeah, she's going to be affected by it too. If you're one of these ones who go out here getting yourself into trouble, getting yourself into situations, keep knocking up different women, whatever the issue is, because these men got a plethora of problems, a plethora of them. So whatever the issue is, it will directly affect those of your family. Same with the women, the decisions that we make, it directly affects those around us, and especially our children. You know, But when it comes to these men, you cannot force them to pick a side. You can use all the little tricks you want to use. You're not going to be able to force them to pick. And they shouldn't have to be forced to pick. As a man, they should be able to have all of their family if they're healthy to them. If he feels that they're healthy for me and these are people I really genuinely want in my life, it's his decision to make that. He know the family that he come from more than you do. You know a lot about his family, but he knows even more than what he has revealed to you. He hasn't even revealed to you all the intricate details about everything that has happened in his dysfunctional family. He knows more than you. So if he haven't conjured up the strength, the boundaries, the love, the work within himself to set said boundaries with these said family members, who are you to come in to try to set the boundaries for him? As a man, at some point, he needs to awaken. He needs to get with the Lord for the Lord to show him some things, for the Lord to give him the strength to separate himself from such dysfunction. He needs to. He's a man. It's not your job to do that for him. It's not your decision, your job. He's not your child. And even when it comes to some of these children, sometimes you gotta give them the advice. It depends on how old your children is. You give them the tools. But it's their job to use those tools that you have given it to build up their own life. You just provide the tools. That's it. You're not taking the tools and going to build them their whole life for them, going to build them everything for them. No, you give them the tools and use with their creative skills and their talents that they know, using those tools to build up what they need for themselves. And this is what you got to do with these men too. And that's why a lot of women end up having all this resentment towards the man because he didn't choose me, but I chose him. I put him above everybody, but he didn't do the same. Yeah, he's teaching you what not to do. You can actually learn a thing or two from these men. Learn how to be more selfish, not to a degree where it's like, because it's definitely levels to it, but learn how to be more selfish. Stop being so selfless to the point where you literally left with nothing. You left with tears, sadness, anger, bitterness, all because things that you allowed, thinking that allowing all of that stuff, being so passive, being passive in this world, it gets you nowhere. And that can go all the way back. But being passive, it don't do nothing but bring you down. It brings you down. Because that's where you get all of that extra hate built up in you. Because you be like, I ignored this, and I ignored that, and I ignored that. Now you begin to hate your dang on self, and hating him, hating everybody. And now you become a narcissist and have such a spirit of self-hatred on you. All because you didn't have those boundaries. All because you allowed so much to happen in the name of love. And then when this person does conjure up some strength, when these men, because once they deem you, oh, you are not, you let so like it, they begin to look at you as disgusting. And once they get there, it's no redemption from that. So they're gonna keep you in that category while they move on to another person, and they may go out to destroy that person too. Who, it depends on what kind of work they've done for themselves. They may go on to do that. But that's not even your job to worry about what they do with the next person. Your job is to solely focus on you, which is the problem in the first place. You was not focusing on you, which is why you gave so much of yourself to them, and then they have destroyed you. And they have never chose you. Meanwhile, you keep choosing them, and they're never choosing you. But everybody want to be chose. But the only thing that matters is when God chooses you. You can't be trying to be chose by everybody in the world. You got to get to a point where you don't care about being chose. You don't care about, all you care about is your peace of mind. So if being the one who got the ring, being the one who got the babies with him, being the one who got the money from him, because different women value different things, and whatever it is that you feel like makes you the pick. These pick-me-shas that they say. Whatever thing that is, ask yourself if obtaining that thing, does it take away your peace or does it bring you peace? True peace. Peace is being able to sleep peacefully at night, having no worries, being stress-free, not having like this bitterness in your heart, not having competition, a competitive spirit with other women. You know, ask yourself that. Ask yourself, do I have true peace? Or am I in a secret competition with every woman that I see around him, near him, by him? Like, you gotta ask yourself these things. That's what you gotta ask yourself. Like, but women are such, I want to be the one that won because I got him. Is having him really the prize? When it's depleting you, stressing you out, like, is it really, did you really win? Or did you really win because you got the ring? You didn't. Especially when you the one, especially a lot of these women, they be out here, you bought your own ring. You paid for majority of the wedding. How did a man who proposed to you, he supposedly proposed to you, yet you had to pay for all the wedding? Like, shouldn't he be paying for it? Because you wanted to marry me. You wanted to marry me, so shouldn't you be, you know, professing your entire love for me? And shouldn't you be doing that? Like, why am I the one doing all the planning and everything? I'm doing so much more. When you the one came to me, you wanted to commit to me, right? I gotta go out and buy my ring, finance my ring. A lot of these women be buying their own rings, like, all for a title that comes with nothing but heartbreak, stress, turmoil, losing your soul in the process. And what should it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose your own soul? What should it profit a woman to gain a title and lose your soul in the process of having that title, boo? Like, what does it profit? Like, you know. But moral of the story, stop trying to be chose. Don't be pressed to be chosen. Don't be pressed to be chosen. Be okay with being the one that got away. Because trust me, the one that got away, she always wins in the end. Be the one that got away. Don't be pressed to be around, stuck around. Nah, be the one to be like, hi, I'm gone. See ya, we want to be ya. See you on the flip side. Be that one. Because all he gonna do is think about you. And then all these other women who be pressed to be pick-me's, all he gonna do is get them, discard them. They ain't gonna get nothing. He gonna be comparing them to you, and they gonna get to stalking you. And you know, and it's like, why, girl? Why? I left him for dead. Why? I left him for dead. Like, why are you even mad at me when I'm not, like, nowhere to be found? I'm you know, because see what happens with men like that, you know, because they won't heal and they won't be accountable. They gotta blame somebody, something. So, and they gotta come with a sob story to every new woman that they get with. And they gotta make it seem like it was that old one who just did these wicked things to me. She did this, and she left, and she took the kid, and she took the money, and she took this, and all the lies and stuff that they tell. He's like, go in there and get your daughter. Imagine this, little boy. But, or let me hurry and go ahead and get her, because I gotta get my other daughter too. But it just be like, man, stop. You don't have to be pressed to be the chosen one. Focus on you. And this is actually when you are so focused on you, these men have no choice but to make sure they come and ready to focus on you too. Like, it just, at the end of the day, know who you are, know what value you bring, and when you know what value you bring, you know what you're not willing to tolerate. Stop tolerating any and everything, thinking that that's going to get you some brownie points, because it doesn't. You actually you go into the negatives. You literally go into the negatives. Look at all the many women, the women that come before you. You might even be one of those women. The more you have taken, the more they have taken from you. They have depleted you. They may have messed your credit up. They may have messed your life up, messed your stability up, messed your children up, messed your mental up, messed your body up. All because of being passive. Thinking that the more you take, the more he's gonna realize that I'm that ride or die. No, you don't want to be the ride or die. I'm only the rider. When you start making me die, no, now I'm gonna have to take you out. I'm not here to die on your behalf. Like, you're here to make sure I am safe. Like, I'm not ride or die. I will let these niggas die, period. And they know that. Like, I will let you die. Don't come around here with that foolishness. Don't come around here with it. Now, I'm gonna be good to you, but you better know what's up. And the moment you don't know how to have boundaries, set boundaries, you don't know. The moment you don't know how to play your part, I ain't here to teach you. I'm not here to teach you that, because you should already know coming into this. But I will kindly separate myself, and then you can take that idle time, instead of going to jump into another person's face. Take that time, go get some therapy, go read some books, go speak to the Lord. That's free. It's free to come to the Lord. Take that time, that idle time, and go do that. And he'll show you what to do and what not to do. He'll teach you many things that a book could never teach you. Do that. So yeah. Don't be pressed to be chose. You move around. You don't even got to get these men that they don't even get the time and opportunity to do. Like, nah. Okay, they presented you with this, and you do what you gonna do with that information. You could choose to stay or you could choose to leave. But notice that when you stay, there's a consequence, and when you leave, there's a consequence. Pick which side you rather be on. And when you pick that side, be okay with it. Don't get the complaining, nagging, all that. Be okay with it. Be okay with it. That's all I'm saying. Because it's stuff that come with either side. But make sure you ready for whichever side you choose. All right. Let me go get these kids. I'll see y'all. Deuces.